Police released some new information about their response to the shooter today, but many questions are still unanswered as the investigation continues. Now, to get a better understanding of the active shooter response process, I talked to police expert and Associate Dean of Tarleton State University School of Criminology, Alex Del Carmen. We want to talk to you a little bit about responses to school shootings. Are there standards in what's followed when something like this happens?
Yeah, we have every police department has its own policy. Nevertheless, there's a universal understanding in active shooting scenarios that all police officers must follow at the time of an incident.
And can you kind of give us an idea of what that standard is, how it kind of goes, the normal procedures?
Yeah, typically when there is an active threat in a school and a police officer is on site, the requirement and the standard, the industry standard, is to simply respond to the incident and neutralize the threat. And so police officers know that these are very dangerous situations that they're in. And even though, in a perfect world, you would want to have backup, and you would want to be able to, outnumber the number of individuals on the good side versus the threat. Police officers know that every second counts, lives are at stake, and the objective is to neutralize the threat at all costs.
And as you just said, there can be different scenarios or different situations. So is every situation different and has to be handled maybe differently?
Every situation is different, but what is universal is the fact that the threat is ongoing and that, the officers have to stop the threat from taking place, right? So we have different scenarios, like if somebody barricades themselves in a particular building or in a particular dwelling, and there is no threat to the immediate area, well, officers are at that point mandated to leave the area and call in for a tactical unit. But when it comes to active shooting scenarios, especially in a school, such as the incident that took place in Uvalde, the requirements would be at that point, the industry standards would be to engage the suspect at all costs and to simply neutralize the threat at all costs, even if that means, for the officer to risk his or her own life.